It started like a normal night. The sky was quiet, the house was calm and dim. Only the soft sound of the ceiling fan broke the silence. I was 39 weeks and 4 days pregnant. I felt uncomfortable, tired, and heavy. I hadn't been sleeping well for weeks, and that night was the same. At around 2:40 in the morning, I felt a dull pain in my lower back. At first, I thought it was the usual discomfort I'd felt during the last part of my pregnancy, but then it came again, stronger and sharper. It felt like my body was telling me, it's time. Please subscribe to our channel and comment where you're watching from. My heart started beating fast. I sat up slowly, held my belly, and softly said, "Jacob." He moved and turned over. Before I could say anything else, another stronger wave of pain hit me. It was real this time. "Jacob," I said again, louder and more serious. He jumped up in an instant, eyes wide with panic and excitement. We moved like a machine. He grabbed the go bag. I called the hospital. He helped me into the car, supporting me like I was made of glass, and we took off through the quiet early morning streets. The whole ride, I kept thinking how surreal it felt. This was the moment I had waited for all my life. The moment I would finally meet the little girl growing inside me. Somewhere between the contractions, I sent a quick message to my parents. "We're on our way to the hospital. It's time, please come." It was automatic. Despite all the disappointments I'd faced over the years, despite how they always seemed to favor my older brother, Ethan, some small part of me still held hope that this moment would be different, that they would finally show up for me. The reply didn't come right away. I assumed they were still sleeping. It wasn't until I was admitted, hooked up to machines, and lying under sterile white lights that my phone buzzed with a message from my mother. "Oh, sweetie, today's really not a good day. Your brother's barbecue starts in a few hours. He planned it for weeks, and you know how much effort he put in. We'll come by the hospital tomorrow." I read the message again, and again, and again. My throat went dry, my chest felt tight. It was like someone had taken a pin to my heart and popped it. This couldn't be real. Jacob saw the look on my face. He took the phone from my hand, read the message, and clenched his jaw. "You've got to be kidding me," he muttered. But I couldn't speak. All I could do was lay there, in the beginning of the most painful and profound experience of my life, knowing the two people who were supposed to care the most had just told me they had better things to do. It wasn't surprising, not entirely. Ethan had always been the favored one, the child who could do no wrong. When he flunked out of college the first time, they bought him a second chance at a private university. When he lost his job, they paid his rent for nearly a year. Every birthday, every breakup, every cookout, he was the son they revolved around. I was the afterthought. But this wasn't just favoritism. This was a betrayal I couldn't begin to process. The hours ticked by, the contractions intensified. I was in agony, mentally and physically. I kept imagining what it would have been like to see my mom walk into the room, brushing hair from my forehead the way she used to when I had the flu, or my dad pacing nervously in the hallway, waiting to be told, "It's a girl." I imagined the flowers, the tears, the pictures of 3 generations in one room. None of it happened. Instead, Jacob was my rock. He held my hand, whispered that I was strong, that I was amazing. Nurses floated in and out, checking monitors and vitals, but the space that should have been filled by my family felt empty, not physically, emotionally, like something sacred had been stolen from me. At 6:22 p.m., with every ounce of pain and joy in my being, I gave birth to a beautiful, squirming, perfect little girl. We named her Era, after the moon of Jupiter, because just like the moon, she was luminous and mysterious and powerful all at once. When they placed her on my chest, I burst into tears, but they weren't just tears of happiness, they were tears of heartbreak, too, because I knew this moment, the most important one of my life, had been completely dismissed by the people who gave me life. Jacob called them after I'd rested. His voice was tense. I could tell he was trying not to explode. "She's here," he said flatly. "You missed it." He listened for a moment, then said, "No, she's not ready for visitors. She doesn't want to see anyone right now." And he was right, I didn't. 3 days later, I received a package at the hospital. It was a gift bag, cheap, impersonal, thrown together last minute. A stuffed bear, a pack of onesies, a card that read, "Congratulations, so proud of you, can't wait to meet her. Sorry we missed it. Ethan's barbecue was amazing. He made those ribs you love. Talk soon, love, Mom and Dad." Ribs. They missed the birth of their granddaughter, for ribs. That night, holding her in the crook of my arm. I made a silent vow. I would never let her feel the kind of invisible I had felt. And I would make sure my parents never forgot the decision they made. If they could prioritize grilled meat over family, I could prioritize my daughter over the illusion of parents I no longer recognized. But this wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. Because something inside me had shifted, and what came next, they wouldn't see coming. 3 quiet weeks passed. Era and I were slowly learning each other. Sleepless nights blurred into warm dawn, and in the stillness of 3 a.m., I found clarity that cut deeper than anger ever could. I didn't need a dramatic apology or an orchestrated reunion. What I needed was something my parents had clearly shown they couldn't give: presence. Still, texts came in like clockwork. Can we visit today? We miss her already. Miss her? They hadn't even met her. They missed the idea of being doting grandparents, not the reality of showing up when it mattered. They wanted cute baby pictures, something to post under a caption like "so proud of our growing family," while the truth told another story entirely. Ethan called. "You're being dramatic," he said. "The barbecue was important. You know how hard Dad worked to plan it." I asked him point blank. More important than Era being born? He didn't answer directly, just muttered something about not making things worse. I hung up. That night, I wrote them a letter, not angry, just honest. I told them I didn't expect anything anymore, least of all understanding. I explained what it meant to go through birth without a mother's hand to hold, or a father's arms around me after my daughter arrived. I wasn't looking to be consoled, I was closing the door. The last line said everything. From now on, I choose Era over anyone who didn't choose us. I mailed it. Then I waited. A few days later, my mom showed up at the door. She didn't knock right away, just stood there, holding a gift bag and looking tired. I watched from behind the curtain. She knocked once, twice, whispered my name, and then left. I didn't open the door. A week passed, then 2. On Facebook, they posted more pictures from the barbecue. Ethan giving a toast, my dad grilling, guests laughing. No mention of Era, no post about being new grandparents. It was like we didn't exist. Then, on Era's 1-month milestone, Jacob and I invited over the people who had shown up: his parents, a couple of close friends, our kind neighbor who dropped off casseroles the first week. We took a photo of all of us, Era asleep in my arms. The caption I posted: "Chosen family always shows up." My parents never responded, but Ethan did. "So, you're making this public now? Congrats on the pity party." I didn't reply, I blocked his number. Months rolled on. Then came Christmas. My mom sent a parcel. Inside was a blanket embroidered with Era's name and a note. "Let's put this behind us. We love her. We love you, please." I returned it along with the same letter I'd written before, only this time, I added one more line at the bottom. "You had one chance to witness her first breath, and you chose burgers and lawn chairs." I never heard back. Some people think revenge means yelling or making a big scene, but I've learned that the best kind of justice is living a calm, happy life, without the people who hurt you, and leaving them exactly where they chose to leave you. Outside. The moment that changed everything will grow up surrounded by real love, not love with conditions, not fake love to impress others, but the kind of love that shows up and stays. And every time my parents remember that barbecue, I hope they also remember the silence of the hospital room they chose not to be in. I hope they think of the daughter who was never second place, who finally saw her own value. And never forgot it.